Generally, everyone needs someone for support whenever they're down to make them feel good and loved. The main idea of being in a relationship is to find someone who will be there for you physically, emotionally, and psychologically. The foresight of God is very needed to know in the first place if someone is the right person for you. People complement each other in a relationship, and it would not be good if we fall into the hands of a partner who does not understand us or our needs. The person chosen by God would be the perfect person to fit into your life. For someone with a bad temperament, God will choose a very patient person who can cope with their every mood. Being in a relationship should not be stressful. In fact, it should be therapeutic. We often make mistakes in choosing the right partner because we fail to ignore the signs shown to us by God or underestimate the power of God in our life. The reasons God will want you to be in a relationship with a particular person will always be to protect your mental, emotional, and spiritual life. It always boils down to be for our good and best interest. Sometimes we overlook these reasons and go with the flow of whatever we want, and we end up regretting our actions. If someone is not for you, the signs are always there, boldly written on the wall, but we just choose to ignore them. God knows it all, and He would never leave His children to make a wrong choice in choosing a life partner. We sometimes shy away from placing a relationship matter in God's hands. The importance of God in every aspect of our life cannot be overemphasized. Acknowledged or not, He has full power over everything we do, including in our relationships. Extreme ignorance of the will of God in our relationships causes the relationship to collapse in the long run. A person God wants you to be in a relationship with must be the right person that complements you. He or she must have been scrutinized to meet your needs. He or she must be able to help and watch you grow emotionally, spiritually, and financially. God will never make a bad choice for us. The best relationships are those that started on the bedrock of God's approval. This is why God wants to be the one to make the ultimate decision of who we ought to go into a relationship with. It's not like God will come down to tell us who He has chosen for us, though. Some signs would have been in place to show you that God has chosen this particular person to be your partner. Forcing relationships with people who do not care about you is the first sign that that is not the person God has chosen for you. The forced vibe might be okay to carry the both of you for a while, but after some time it fades away. Most times we must have seen the signs that God wants us to be with a particular person, but we keep asking ourselves, why this person? There are lots of reasons why God would want us to be with a particular person, and once we see and understand these reasons, it becomes easier for us to accept who God has chosen for us and form a beautiful relationship with that person. The reasons God wants you to be in a relationship with someone are numerous. These are just a few. Number 1, the person can fill in the gap for your need, not just your want. The biggest turning point in a relationship is being able to differentiate between the person or quality you actually need and the person or quality you actually want. Want is luxury, but need is essential. Sometimes what we want is mere lust, and this might put us in so much emotional stress. We admire and appreciate someone's physique and personality that we fail to assess if this person is good for us or not. If the person fits into our needs, and if the person would be able to accept our flaws and willing to help us and watch us grow. If this choice is coming from God, however, we can be sure that this is a person we need in our life. God wants you to be in a relationship with someone you need and not someone you want. Going to a relationship with someone you want will not always last anyway, as it's not even certain if the person wants you back. It sometimes becomes a constant struggle of being overly obsessed with someone that does not love you. When you meet someone you need, it means they have a particular position to fill in your life already, and for someone to be able to fit a particular place in your life, that means the person holds you in high regards. One of the reasons God wants you to be with a person would be that the person has a role to play in your life. Probably you have something to learn from them, or they are to be by your side forever through the journey of life. Number 2, for companionship. Everyone needs someone. It's usually more fun when you have someone to call your own. When you can be assured that you are their responsibility and they are your responsibility too. Having someone beside you through your happy and trial times is a good thing, and it is a top-tier love language. God wants us to be with someone so that we do not get too lonely that we subconsciously build a wall around us, because this usually ends up affecting our mental state. Having someone around to do things will relieve us of physical and emotional stress. We see someone to interact with, and someone that we are sure he or she cares about us. Number 3, the person has a "let's do it" attitude. Most times we need motivators. We need people that believe in us when our spirit is down. We need people that would cheer us up and make us believe we can achieve whatever we want to achieve. We need to hear "you can do this" from people that we are sure genuinely care. Now imagine a "let's do it" attitude. This assures you that the particular person will be there for you for life. It assures you that you have someone willing to spend the rest of his or her life with you. God wants us to be with this kind of people so that we can feel alive all the time. We need people around us that motivate us. Most importantly, we need people around us that are willing to walk the talk with us. Having someone around us with this kind of attitude will propel us to do great things. We would want to achieve more because of the confidence that someone is watching out for us. This is also a reason why God wants us to be in a relationship with someone who motivates and brings out the best version of us. Number 4, a person that motivates you to pray. A family that prays together stays together. Even in a relationship that both partners pray together, they will surely stick together. Having a partner that brings you closer to God is very important. A partner that always wants you to strengthen your relationship with God. A partner that prays for you and prays with you. We are humans. Sometimes our faith is shaken. Having a partner who helps us find our way back to God is very necessary. Any relationship that is rooted in faith and belief in God is a relationship that we can be sure would last. Praying together builds an unbreakable bond between you and your partner, and your partner praying for you or praying for your partner is evidence that they are in your thoughts. You care about them and want them to excel in life. God wants you to be in a relationship with someone that reminds you to pray always and be rigid and steadfast in worshiping Him. These are few reasons why God wants us to be in a relationship with someone. Generally, praying is for our individual growth. These reasons remind us that we all need someone at some point in our life, and we should never confuse our wants for needs. We have an obligation to put everything we're going through in the hands of God and rest assured that He would come through for us. There is nothing wrong with asking God for guidance when it comes to choosing someone for the purpose of having a relationship. God will reveal some signs when you finally meet the one He wants for you and the reasons why He wants the person for you. Knowing the reasons is important because it makes us place value on our relationship and also set us straight on what and why we are in that relationship. This also helps us define our standards when we meet new people. God will never choose a partner that does not complement us. Listening to God while picking a partner makes it easy to settle issues in your relationship because at no point would you ever have thought that maybe you got into the wrong relationship. This gives you a different level of confidence. Whenever any issue arises with your partner, you just know everything is going to be fine.